Thanks for joining us for this NT Daily News Break. I'm Madison Lambert. 1,500 undocumented teens have arrived in buses at the Kay Bailey Dallas Convention Center and are being housed there. Last Tuesday, the emergency migrant intake site at the Dallas Convention Center reached near capacity. More than 2,000 teenage boys are at the center being processed after crossing the border from Mexico. The Biden administration is under pressure to show conditions inside the convention center. GOP lawmakers were allowed inside the facility and said living conditions were very clean, but were not allowed to take photos. The federal government is paying Dallas $8 million for the use of the center, but immigration lawyers are pushing for the government to speed up the process so that the children can be reunited with their parents in the U.S. Denton Police Department is very proud of how well the Denton community abided by the COVID mandates in 2020. However, they did see an increase in property and violent crimes throughout the pandemic. With summer 2021 quickly approaching and the area of Denton reopening to full capacity, crime rates in Denton, Texas are going to change. During the pandemic, people were forced to stay home and not go out, which did increase the total violent and property crime rate in Denton. Officer at the Denton Police Department, Allison Beckwith, says that the Denton Police Department can't directly link the increase to COVID, but they can strongly assume.
So our numbers were up last year. We had 6 homicides, which is higher than previous years for us. On the, bright side of that, we did have a 100% clearance rate, meaning that all those homicides were solved last year and an arrest was effected for each one.
A big concern the Denton Police Department had during COVID was for the domestic violence victims.
As far as child abuse, kids are no longer in school a lot of the time and they're at home, so there was a concern there. And then as far as adults, individuals weren't getting those routine trips that you typically get when it's not a pandemic, like regular grocery trips and social outings. So we really had a concern during the pandemic with that. So it'll kind of be nice that fear is going to be a little alleviated, that those victims are going to be getting out more and have more opportunities to ask for help.
The UNT Police Department is preparing for more people on campus with the increase in in-person classes next fall. UNT police officer David Cossey is looking forward to the change on campus.
Excited that we're going to have everybody coming back to campus. It's an exciting time for us because we're used to that. So a big push is going to be for a lot of community safety events. Hopefully, we don't know right now what all is going to be allowed, but hopefully we'll be able to do some in-person presentations. If not in person, we can continue to do our online presentations. Really meeting with a lot of the student organizations and kind of, building up those relationships again.
The Denton and UNT police officers are committed to keeping the people of Denton safe and protected while life starts to return back to normal. For NT Daily, I'm Madison Lambert. For more about the Denton police policies and COVID regulations, you can visit thecityofdenton.com. And for UNT police updates, you can visit police.unt.edu. On Saturday, the NCAA men's tournament will host 2 Final Four games. To see who will be going to the championship game, UCLA will play Gonzaga and Houston will play Baylor. The NCAA tournament proved to be a year of the underdogs, with teams like Oral Roberts University beating the number 2 Florida team and Abilene Christian University beating the number 3 ranked Texas team. Small schools seem to be rallying together to take down the ones that have dominated in years past. Among those underdog teams was Denton's very own UNT men's basketball. The North Texas Eagles had a fantastic season and proved how far they had come by beating the number 4 ranked Purdue team in the first round. Sadly, the Eagles lost to Villanova in the second round, but are proud of how far they have come this season and are looking forward to coming back even stronger next year. The 2021 U.S. National Team Combine was held on Saturday at the Star in Frisco. The U.S. Football National Combine is for top athletes all over the nation. These athletes come and showcase their skills in hopes of making the invite-only U.S. national team. On Saturday, athletes arrived at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium with one goal in mind: make the national team. Athletes competed in different NFL-style drills like the vertical jump, L drill, and more, while NCAA coaches watched. I caught up with Frisco High Class of 2020 offensive lineman Cole Hudson about his experience at the Combine.
I would say it's probably the biggest thing for connection-wise. I think you get to meet so many people, so many new coaches just kind of come into your life and then just want to excel you, and that's probably the best thing I take away from coming to these camps.
All athletes leave the Combine with verified stats to show college coaches what they bring to the field. Athletes that came out on top of the Combine were selected to be a part of the U.S. national team and will compete at the International Bowl later this year. The Denton Community Theater has been providing entertainment for the people of North Texas for years. They have now reopened their doors, but instead of having live performances, their shows will be virtual. The DCT's upcoming virtual show is called A Tea for Three, Lady Bird, Pat, and Betty. The actor and director of this one-woman show, Jen Peace, describes the preparation for the virtual show as being a full learning experience.
Just very strange doing it to no one, like not even anybody there giving me feedback or whatever. It's just, but in a way it's almost like a little more intimate because I can kind of, really think that like this is Lady Bird Johnson pouring her secrets out to a room, just talking her thoughts out. You know what I mean? Like she would an internal dialogue kind of thing. So it's had its moments, it's had its challenges, it's had its really unique moments, but it's definitely probably the hardest thing I've ever done as an actress. So.
Instead of doing a live virtual performance each night, Jen and her team will record one version of A Tea for Three, which will be shown online on various show nights from April 9th through the 18th. Tickets for A Tea for Three can be purchased online at thetheaterdenton.com. Thank you for joining NT Daily for this news break. Have a great week.